Today I want to show you how easy it is to create a tag album or mini album, and I'm going to show you how you can do it with one cartridge and you do not have to have the Cricut Design Studio. I am using the Sweet Treats cartridge. It has a lot of cute tags on it, and this is going to be a sweet treat or a birthday book. So I will be cutting all of my images from this cartridge. However, if you do not have Sweet Treats, go ahead and pull out the cartridges that you do have. There are many cartridges with tags, and there are many cartridges that have ice cream cones and cupcakes and similar images to the Sweet Treats. So if you don't have this, you can still make this book with us. Go ahead and pull out what you have, and I am going to combine it with the Die Cuts with a View, the Sweet Stack. And I also want you to know that you do not have to have a bind it all or a binding machine, because we are going to use the inexpensive book rings. You can pick them up at Walmart for $1 or $2 a pack, and that's what will hold our book together. To begin, we are going to cut our chipboard base for our book. We are going to hit the tag feature, the key for the tag that we want, and by doing 5 3/4 inches I can get 3 tags across. So I'm going to hit it 2 more times and cut, and it's going to cut out 3 of our pages. I want to show you how to cut your pages so that if there's a particular portion of the cardstock that you're using that you want to get into your page or your tag, such as this scallop border across the bottom, I'm going to show you how I did that. I am eyeballing about how much room I think it'll take for my tag, and I've arrowed down and then went down probably a little bit further than I need to. I'm just going to hit repeat last because I've already been cutting my tags, and I'll hit cut, and you hear that beep. That's telling me that there's not enough room to cut that tag. So I'm going to only arrow up like 1 or 2 arrows at a time, so that when it does cut it, I know that my blade is going to cut all the way to the bottom of this sheet of cardstock and catch all this decorative border within the cut. Still too much, or still I don't have enough room. So let's arrow up twice. We are going to make sure to catch all of that cute border. There we go. And now it's going to cut all the way down as far as it can to get all that cute border on our page or our cut. And there we go, and that is how you do that. Now we have all of our pages cut out in chipboard for our album, and I've cut each page out twice in decorative cardstock and then cut out your pages. We are ready to adhere them together, and I'm going to use a product called Fabri-Tac. I like this because it is a really good strong adhesive, but it gives you a little time before it completely dries to get your page lined up. Whereas with the ATG gun, it is good and it holds, but once you stick it down, if you try to pull it up, a lot of times it will rip your cardstock because it holds quickly. And it doesn't really take a lot. You do not have to cover the whole page. And then line it up. And we're going to go through and adhere the front and back to all of our pages, and then we will be ready to embellish and decorate and put it all together. Now that we have the pages put together, front and back, we're going to ink the edges. I've already inked this edge. Because it's brown, it doesn't show up quite as much, but I am using a brown ink. You can use whatever color you prefer, and we're just going to go around the edges to try to finish them off, and this also helps to hide some of the raw chipboard. So I'll go around and do all of my pages, and then we'll be ready to embellish and add a few die cuts and put it together. One thing I kind of spaced off is on the tags. There is a shift layer that will give you an extra little decorative piece for the tag. So I'm going to cut that out and see what it looks like, and we may add that to some or all of our pages. So we're going to hit tags, shift, and then the tag that we cut, and cut. Okay, there we go. And we'll cut that out. I probably won't add it to the backs of the pages, but I think it may be really a cute addition to the fronts. Now that's really cute. We'll ink this up and add it to the page. Alright, let's go ahead and adhere our little crown pieces to our book. I am again using Fabri-Tac. We'll line it up. Just like that. And then the little extra scallop piece, it's for the bottom of the tag, or really I guess wherever you probably want to put it. But first I want to stamp a sentiment on this white scallop part. We're going to use a stamp that says "You're sweet," sweet, and some brown ink. Okay, let's ink up our stamp. And "You're sweet." And let's see what the scallop piece, I think that's cute. Let's go ahead and add that. And for that, I think I'm just going to use my Zig pen. And that kind of finishes off the bottom. But that's looking really cute. I like that. We are now ready to start embellishing our book. I went ahead and ran my ring through my pages to hold them together. If you want to decorate them first, that's fine. And I have cut a mat to fit on my book. And next we're going to cut the cupcake. And I've already got the layers cut out. I am going to emboss the cupcake in the Divine Swirls embossing folder, and then we will ink up the edges and adhere the layers together, and then we'll add it to the front of our book. And the cupcake that I used is on page 26. I cut it at 2 inches. I used the blackout. I cut the wrapper, the cupcake wrapper, the flower, and the layer, and I'm only using the flower center. The other little dots that normally go on the cupcake we don't need since we're going to emboss it. So go ahead and get your layers cut out, and we will ink up the edges, emboss, and put together. Alright, I've embossed my cupcake. I am going to take a white ink pad and run over the swirls to give it a swirly, frosty look. I've inked the edges of my flower and added the center, and I've inked the edges of the cupcake wrapper. Let's go ahead and adhere this to our cupcake. There we go. And we will use our Zig pen to adhere our flower. Yellow stickles to the flower center to help it bling. It's all about the bling. You can adhere this all the way down, or if you only want to adhere around 3 sides and leave the top open, you can make another tag to stick in there, or leave it as a pocket for a small photo or a note. I am now adding some chalk to the white. That white seemed pretty bright for this book, so I'm adding some orange chalk lightly to the white trim. We will come back and cover this binder ring with ribbon.